Hello, children. Hello, beta. Shall I continue?
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, lot of network problem we are having today ना. I'm having it. बीच में ही disconnect हो गया. आवाज आ रही है बराबर?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ठीक है.
Yes,
आवाज
ma'am.
नहीं आए ना तो just send a message to me, okay? So, which question I had given you? A question. Which one? One question or two questions I had spoken?
I'm too.
What was the second one?
What does Mr. Frank suggest, Aplu?
To do because Mr. Crocker Harris is 10 minutes late. Complete the question. What does Mr. Frank suggest? What does Mr. Frank suggest Taplu to do? What does Mr. Frank suggest Taplu to do? Because Mr. Crocker Harris is 10 minutes late. Because Mr. Crocker Harris is 10 minutes late. Done it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Next one. Why does Mr. Frank envy? Why does Mr. Frank envy ENVY? Why does Mr. Frank envy Mr. Crocker Harris? Why does Mr. Frank envy Mr. Crocker Harris? Written, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
Next one. Who is a sadist? Who is a sadist? Continue. Who is a sadist? Why is Taplu afraid of Mr. Crocker Harris? Why is Taplu afraid of Mr. Crocker Harris? Even though the latter is not a sadist. Who is a sadist? Question mark. Why is Taplu afraid of Mr. Crocker Harris? Even though the latter is not a sadist. Even though the latter, LATTER, is not a sadist. Next one. What is Taplu's attitude? What is Taplu's apostrophe S attitude towards Mr. Crocker Harris? Towards Mr. Crocker Harris. Written.
Yes, ma'am.
Who was
Yes,
Millie
ma'am.
Crocker Harris? Write down the next one. Who was Millie Crocker Harris? What was she like? Who was Millie Crocker Harris? Question mark. What was she like? Put a question mark. My voice is not clear. Am I audible, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Arpita, you might be having some network problem then. I'm audible to rest of the students. Arpita? Okay. Who was Millie Crocker Harris? What was she like? Written? Beta, can you listen
Yes, ma'am.
now, Arpita? No, I cannot do anything for this. It might be the network problem. Now you can listen. Okay, fine. Next one. How does Millie Crocker Harris send Taploo away? 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 Written?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Next one, what do you gather about Mr. Frank from the play? What do you gather about Mr. Frank from the play? What do you gather about Mr. Frank from the play? Written? Next one, what do you gather about Crocker Harris from the play? Next one, what do you gather about Crocker Harris from the play? Written?
Yes, ma'am.
How many questions?
9.
9.
9.
Okay, write down, compare and contrast the characters of Mr. Crocker Harris. Compare and contrast the characters of Mr. Crocker Harris and Frank. Mr. Crocker Harris and Frank. Done, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how many? 10 questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so do them. And what I said, the date when we complete the chapter and the date when I ask you to do the question answers, okay, the day when I asked you rather, you put the date, okay, of that particular day. ठीक है, जिस दिन मैं आपको बोलूं क्वेश्चन आंसर्स करिए उस दिन की डेट लिखिएगा. Clear?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, fine. And
Yes, ma'am.
okay. And tomorrow we are going to begin with the next chapter. Okay, maybe the next chapter or maybe some grammar chapter. Okay. Now the next one I'm going to do with you, and that would be the Silk Road. Okay. ठीक है बेटा.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
या तो सिल्क रोड
Thank
करेंगे
you,
या
ma'am.
थोड़ा सा चेंज करेंगे, हम ग्रामर करेंगे. राइट.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
ओके, थैंक यू बेटा. गॉड ब्लेस यू.
Thank you, ma'am.